Good afternoon, good morning to everybody out there. Jason here, GT3 Esports, and a pleasure to have you live and a charge. A little countdown to green here, presented by Lunatic Designs. Can you go to the Lunatic ready to rock and roll? We are hydrated, we are vocally prepared, and we are on to some of the best racing you're going to see out there. Chop Racing giving you all the action tonight as the Chopp'N It Up GT3 series ready to rock and roll. Qualifying here underway as they're going to finish that up. And we're at, if you don't know this track, well, it's pretty much an icon in the Australian circuit. It is the Bathurst or Mount Panorama circuit here for the Chop GT3 series. It's a blast to see you out there. 3.82 mile length racing surface here tonight as they run 60 minutes with one fast repair. They do have an extra set of tires out there to be able to change into. It's gonna be good. Good track temperature's kind of spicy. It's pretty spicy. 107 degrees for the track temperature here. 82 degrees on the air temperature. 28% humidity. Partly cloudy skies with an 8-mile-an-hour wind. The trees shaking up in the background just a touch as Panorama is a beautiful racing surface, and absolutely love to see it's a street circuit technically, but it's a blast to be able to see these drivers do it. I mean, let's just face it, Bathurst is the track. If you don't own it on iRacing, then you haven't really ran. I think, I don't know, maybe. Man, that's the same. That's kind of the same as saying Daytona as well, but. Tonight, drivers again, 60 minutes here. If you want to join Chop for their next series that they run, discord.gg/Chop Racing. Get out there and check them out. They get a Chopp'N It Up podcast on YouTube for giving us all the action each and every week. David Steiner is going to be your pole sitter here for the Stay Tuned Sports pole sitter. Michael Caffrey, your outside pole sitter. Philip Caffrey and Wesley Strait are going to make it row number 2. Tyler Hammond, Jericho Morley is going to be out there in row number 3. Anthony Crownover, Brad Dove in row number 4. Nathan Bigart. Jed Cotterman's going to be out there row number 5. Theodore Seidel's going to be out there with Michael Strickland to his outside. And row number 6, I believe Colby Hartung and Robert Church going to be out. Robert Church, then Colby Hartung making up the final row here as we soak up these drivers. How about this racetrack? This racetrack is awesome. It is awesome. It's a blast to see. 3 McLarens inside the top 3 right now before the start of this race. We get into the pace lap before we go green. Wesley Strait in the Mustang. He is going to have Tyler Hammond in a Corvette just behind him. Jericho Morley and Anthony Crownover both in Ferraris tonight as Brad Dove holds on to the dang old Corvette out there as well. Big Art, of course, running the McLaren, an Audi for Jed out there. I'd like to see the Audi working. It's pretty awesome. Theodore running the Ford as well. Big Art Hartung might be starting from pit road. We'll see. Churchy and Strickland all in the dang old Corvettes themselves. So I like to see it. But how about those McLarens, man? Those McLarens have been fast all season long. A lot of people have been working on them, been trying to do what they can, and open setups are huge. Mr. Van Ness, thank you for the like. I appreciate you. Thank you to the missus being out there. I told her when we were out there that this is a pretty awesome race course. I told her that this is one that you kind of have to look at with 2 eyeballs. It's a little bit different, right? And not only is it a little bit different, but just seeing the drivers get out there and run Bathurst. But all right, they're ready to go. I'm ready to go. You're all ready to go. Short pace lap. The left-hander as they come around. 22 turns here tonight on this racing surface. They're going. They're ready. They're green. Oh, wrong button. That button. Let's do it. Turn 1, left-hander. Short straightaways. There's some high-speed sections, but uphill sections are going to be the big, massive part of it. Bigart leaving pit road as Panorama is underway. Turn 2, Griffin's Bend. An uphill sweeping circuit to turn 3. Short straight is still climbing up the mountain here as we take the left-hander in turn 3. Sharp left-hander to the cutting corner. It's going to be turn 4, turn 5, the Corey corner. It makes up 5 and 6 into Reed Park on the right-hand side. We're going to see 6 and 7. 7 is going to drag the wall to the left hand. Turn 8, sweeping turn 8. Frog Hollow up through turn 9. Solomon Park, and then turn 10, the left-hander will take you to McPhillity Park. And then they're going to see the skyline right there. That's the downhill section as they roll 11, 12 through the S's, 13, 14. Big Dipper right about there. And we're going to see short straight to turn 15. And then 16 and 17 coming up as we'll see. Force elbow to the long straight here. Here they go. The Conrad Straight is what this is called, and to turn 20, 23 turns. Forgive me for that one. Little dog leg. Then you're going to see it. Dog leg to the right. They're going to make a left-hander here in turn 21 and turn 22. Into another short straightaway, which is where you saw the drivers grinning there by the Armor All overhang. And then Murray's Corner is going to be turn 23, pit road entrance right there, and that is lap 1. How about all that action? That's a lot of turning. That's a whole lot. Churchy, having it off track. Thank you, sir. Mr. Abby, how you doing? You know, New Hampshire back road like this? Well, that's pretty much what you're going to see. It's right on board with Tyler. I'm not Tyler. Theodore right here. Theodore up 5 already. Theodore's our driver cam tonight. He's our driver cam each and every Monday night. We appreciate him very much. Yee, baby. Some sweeping corners here. I tell you what, you think the uphill is hard, the S's in the downhill, you're almost on the brakes the entire time. Good snap to the wheel as you see Theodore running. Oh, the walls. Man, oh man, hold on to it, son. Is anybody else getting nauseous? Yeah. Keeping it close. David Steiner coming around, has a 5.2 second lead over Michael Caffrey. Philip Caffrey in third. Just behind is going to be Wesley Straight, Tyler Hammond in fifth. Theodore up 5, still working. Anthony Crowdover in 7th. Every one of these drivers. We're going to have some fun. How about Gira out there running the old Ferrari? Jed Cotterman in the Audi. Good to see an Audi back out there as well. Stryker getting around Mr. Church back here. But Churchy is fine. Long way around this racetrack and a lot of elevation change to make all of that happen. So, all the good things. All the good things. 206-557 for David Steiner. Checking on Nate. Showing him at 11th. I do believe. There it is. I was going to say, we're going to see the timing tower update there. 20 seconds to gap here. But no doubt, Nate might be able to make some time up. We'll see. It's a tough passing track because, well, everything is in your lap. Like right here, Wesley Straight, Tyler Hammond. Those are drivers you're going to see trying to make passes where they can. Philip Caffrey just ahead. And everybody trying to put on, as much of a show as they can. This thing's massive. Bathurst is a big favorite. We have the Bathurst 12 hour that iRacing throws on. Panorama is just pretty awesome. Brad Dove had an issue just a moment ago. See if you got any damage. I just got heavy on the brakes. Yep. Just a little bit sideways. He's fine. Churchy able to get around him. That's a hard place to parallel park. Really is. Whoa. Somebody give me a like. Thank you so much, everybody, for being out there. Mr. RB, I appreciate you, of course. Go striker for Mr. Van Nest. And help out all this. Jess knows some back roads like this down there in Bolivar. I bet she does. I know some over there in the Illinois area. Down in the Mississippi area as well. Wiggling the car a little bit to get into the straight there. Churchy. Missing a wing now. He ain't going to have no downforce. I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no wing on it. What happened? The downhill section is just rough. And if the track is hot like it is there, you kind of have to just be flowing with it. It's so hard because you're going downhill. Oh, that's not right. He didn't hit that wall hard enough to do that. And with no downforce, you have no rear grip. So he's kind of got to limp it around there. .3-second difference here. Jed Cotterman trying to work up and around Gira. Here is Nathan Bigart trying to press. Tough to pass in these corners. Cotterman up into the corner, trying to hold on. 3-car battle here. As Gira tries to pull away, Anthony Crownover has about a 4-second gap here. Nathan Bigart working. Cotterman. Oh, Cotterman off track there. Tires off. Oh, he hit the turtle. Oh, man. Oh, no. He didn't do it in a race car, though. Could you imagine? Well, Cotterman's wing magically reappeared. Did Church's? No. Thank you much for the clip. Hey, Dead Roses gave us, oh, that was yesterday. Thank you. All right. Let's do all this. 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 This. All right. Pretty simple race today. The Australians, well, this is their favorite track, so you almost expect them to be there. What I mean, Cotterman coming to pit road. Had a good speed going on there. Bigard 209.38. Now a chance to be able to stretch his legs, see what he can do here. 42.28 on the iRating for his road rating. David Steiner, 1957. Calf Reed, 920. 1496 for Mr. Philip Caffrey. Wesley Straight doing what he can. Let's see what if Cotterman gets this fast repair. Should. An hour of racing around this racetrack is very tiring, but it's a fun racetrack. In my opinion, it's a fun racetrack. Hold on to it, David. Gotta use and abuse that car. That's the dip. Oh, man. That wall's becoming dangerous. On the back half of the racetrack, Churchy just trying to get himself back to pit road. At least it's a big enough racetrack. It's hard when you have no wing, you have no downforce, and so you're literally there to drive 30 miles an hour. Can barely do that. Take forever to finish this racetrack. Speaking of which, see how fast the drivers are going. Race leader coming around. Up to 22, now to turn 23 onto the short straight for the start-finish line. Completing a lap 5. Trying to go maximum effort. Little Caffrey a little off track there. Wesley Straight in tow. Michael Caffrey just ran his fastest lap of the race, 2:07.42. 10-second gap between first and second. Teammates 1, 2, 3 right now. Anthony Cronover 1 1/3. Trying to play catch up here to Tyler Hammond. Theodore's gained a couple of spots here. We got 23 seconds and trying to close in. He just ran a 2:06.58. So he's fast enough to get there. Now he's got to try to get there. Which, it's not impossible. But a lot of traffic ahead of him. Oh, baby. The difference in sound on the car, the difference in just race line, it's pretty intense, pretty insane to see. David Steiner, 22.5 seconds. Now the gap, chance for him to try to make that work. 2:08.98 for Theodore last time by 5. Holding on that 5 spot. He's doing what he can. Churchy going around there. Hopefully he can be able to get this thing rolling straight for himself. The tough racetrack, folks, it really is. 2:07.06 last time by. 2:07.30 for Michael Caffrey. Philip Caffrey, his fastest lap, 2:08.30. Bigard, 2:07.79 last time by. Cronover ran a 2:09.84. So a chance to see how he's going to work on it. Tyler Hammond there to try to work on what Bigard's got going on. The uphill section, you got to carry speed, but be smart about how much you approach the outside edge. A little free in the uphill section. It's about how much you can live on edge and try to push the car. But if you're Nathan Bigard and you're trying to follow this driver, you don't want to follow too closely because you know what can happen? You can do just that. You can hit the wall, set the corner up, try to get a run on the driver. That's what he's doing right here into the braking zone. Ooh. Gotta be careful of the corners. There's the dip. Both drivers tapping the wall there. Just does not have the power off on the car is just so much different. The McLarens just seemingly having the better car. Look at all that gravel popping up on the road right there as well. So some drivers get a taste of what was going on there. David Steiner, phenomenal day. Caffrey, 2:06.99, getting a touch faster each and every lap. This is a track where you have to utilize all the speed you can get. Right now, good race so far. So far, so good. Wesley straight in fourth. Still trying to hold on to the back bumper. Philip Caffrey. See the Mustang go to work. Theodore trying to hold on. Sees Nathan Bigard trying to close in. Theodore's 2:09.36 last time by. Bigard 2:08.18. About 16 minutes into this race. And so far, so good. Everybody's still running. Churchy's a couple laps down, but he got his car looked at. He's good to go. A little bit of nose damage. Just complete the laps. That's the way I say it. Just get out there, complete the laps. I'd be hard pressed if I were out there trying to do that. That's for darn sure. All right, we'll keep it all in the exciting cams, and I'm going to take a moment to grab some water and get Jess's opinion of this racetrack. Pretty cool. All right, while I was gone, Big Art ran the fastest lap of the race, 2:05.99's moved up to fourth. Wesley Straight has been trying to get around. Philip Caffrey here. Philip Caffrey sits in third. Michael Caffrey, 2:06.35 last time by. 11 seconds ahead is David Steiner as he gets into the uphill. Trying to drive uphill this mountain. That's one thing I was telling Jess. You drive uphill and then you drive back down the mountain, and it's pretty insane. So, a little bit of track history for this. Thank you, Budgie, for the hydrates and the stretch. Excuse me. As track, according to Wikipedia, believe it how you want, the track has an unusual design by modern standards with 571 feet of vertical difference between its highest point and its lowest points. They have grades as steep as 1/6. Grades as steep as 1 to 6.13. It's steep. I mean, you think about it. 6 degrees of banking. That's crazy. From the start finish line, the track can be viewed in 3 sections: the short pit stop straight, and then a tight left-hand turn along the steep mountain straight, and a tight narrow section across the top of the mountain itself. And then the long downhill section of the Conrad Straight with a very fast chase, and the turn back onto the pit straight to complete the lap. It's a pretty insane. Oh, Tyler Hammond having an issue there. Was checking on how he was going on. Anthony Crownover able to get around him. Let's see what happened. Oh, just having the brakes. Oh, yeah. Oh, tapped the wall. Dang it. At least he didn't break the right front. Crownover up to 7th. Theodore still up 5. He sits in 6th. He's doing a good job. David Steiner, 2:06.01, his last lap. Historically, the racetrack has been used for a wide variety of racing categories, including everything from open-wheel cars to motorcycles. With tighter safety regulations and less tolerance of risk, motorcycle racing is no longer conducted at this racetrack. The open-wheel racing events did not occur for many years until Formula 3 event was added as a support race for Bathurst 12 Hour in 2012. It is registered as a Grade 3 racing circuit by the FIA. Grade 3 racing circuits are permitted to hold FIA-sanctioned events. With cars with a weight-power ratio of 2 to 3 kilograms per horsepower, which includes current Australian domestic racing categories except the S5000, which were consequently modified to reduce maximum power for the event held there. Good things. Picard gets around Philip Caffrey and now tries to set his sights on the 25-second gap between those drivers. So David Steiner kind of comfortable where he's at right now. We'll see how long he can hold on to it. 10.7 seconds as we approach the halfway mark between Michael Caffrey, Nathan Bigart, Philip Caffrey, 2.4. Seeing Wesley Straight trying to close in one more of those race lines. It's a very pretty track, says Jess. I think it's awesome. I want to bring the NASCARs here. Maybe that's what we do. We do Bathurst. Actually, what we'll do, or if Mexico GP does it, we'll select a bunch of tracks, and instead of voting on the car or the vehicle, we'll vote on the track, and then we'll do two for that when we do the Sunday Fun Day series. All right, Big Art, 2:07.59 his last time by. Michael Caffrey at 2:08.46 this time by. We'll see how fast he's going to roll across that line. 2:07.25, so David Steiner, 2:06.71. Still a 24.5 second gap as David Steiner trying to hold on. Church and Stryker. Oh, Stryker hard into the wall there. Man, here's what happened. Stryker gets down in the downhill section here. Tires across the stripe there. It's same section that we're seeing. Oh, yeah, just loops it around. And then that'll tear your car up. That wall is unforgiving. Man. At least it's in the downhill section. Still going. Bigard 205.72 his last time by. Still 24 seconds to gap. It's a lot to overcome. We'll have to try to do some of that on pit road. These cars are wicked, man. They're wicked. Oh, Churchy threw his driver cam up. I didn't see it until after. Like, what's up, Roberge? Didn't see it until after the fact. I can't put it up. We've learned our lesson with driver cams as we did last night. We are not going to be throwing driver cams up after the fact because it crashed the stream last night. So, for whatever reason, it just doesn't like it. .7, David Steiner. Up and around. That straightaway is the biggest one. It's the highest speed section on this racetrack. But Nathan Bigard trying to get close enough to see David Steiner. Steiner into the corner, 206.65. Running sub 207s. Bigard see Caffrey this time. 206.24, just ran his fastest lap of the race. Bigard trying to do what he can. Tyler Hammond, a little bit of an off track there. See, comes down the S's. Trying to hit the halfway point of that race line, and when you get about halfway, that's when all the trouble starts seeking in. Around turn 17. And 18, rolling. Come on, Tyler. 13 and a half seconds to gap. Bigard 205.76 his last time by. Trying to match his lap times. It's about 2 seconds a lap faster. We're 14 laps into this one, getting close to the halfway mark. It's about pressing on as much as you can. Frank would like to know if I'd like to see him in his truck. If not, the truck next time. I sound like a very old man. I do sound like a very old man. Still dealing with it. If I could just get over everything, it'd be fine. So I started off very strong. I was like, all right, this is going to be good. And then it immediately went, ugh. So Cronover in 7th, trying to track down Theodore just ahead. Theodore, of course, our driver cam tonight. I need to get his truck done. I forgot to do his truck this week. I've been sick. I've been kind of busy at the same time, and I haven't really been doing a lot of Photoshop stuff or anything else. But I will get his truck done. I will get his Paw Patrol truck done. I haven't forgotten. I will. I promise. All right, Striker able to make it to pit lane. Jura had to tow earlier. I didn't even see what happened to Jura. Let's take a look. It's on lap 9. Oh, he's got no rear bumper. What happened? Let's back up and see. Oh. And in the uphill section here. Whoa, hit the wall, slowed way down. And that was Stryker they got into the back of him there. Jeez. You get better first. Well, we got to make sure the little man can get his thing get everything taken care of. You know what I mean? Colby, thank you for like, sir. This track looks like it would be a blast, but it feel like a record return. Yes. So we turn the damage off and we just go. We ping pong down hill. It is a blast. Let's find a driver we're coming around. There's Stryker coming around. There's the 9 of Tyler Hammond. There's the 18 of Jed Cotterman. Now, Cotterman is he's been out there racing. He's been doing well. He kind of had an early issue. But I want to start a lap with the driver and go to the... Do I have this one set up? I do not. So we'll wait for David. David's getting ready to come around here and start another lap Or he comes to pit road. There's some gravel right there. That'll free all that up. Dirty tires are never a good thing here. All right, right on board. Watch this guy do his thing. Let's not give him the commentator's curse. Watch this, folks. We're riding on board. Let's do it. That is a lap. Almost a lap. Around Mount Panorama at Bathurst. And insane, right? This is the speed that they're able to carry is insane. Tyler Hammond into pit road is going to be on the pit cycle here. David Snyder will put him a lap down, 2 minutes 6:5:05. Caffrey ran a 2:6:11 last time by. Bigart 2:06:12. As these drivers continue to try to press on and press forward, still 23 seconds the gap between Nathan Bigart and David Steiner. This is a racetrack. You want to make sure that you do not run out of fuel. Unless you're running out of fuel coming downhill. Caffrey just ran his fastest lap of the race, 2:07:37. Nice job, Phillip. Wesley Strait still in fifth here, 2:08:26 last time by. They've been having a very close battle for a hot minute. Theodore came to pit road, Crownover into pit road now, as Jed Cotterman going to have about a half a lap to be able to play catch up there. Chance to get in and out of pit road. Pit road speed limit is only a balmy 30 miles an hour. That's what the limiter gets. You think about it. You're going 173 miles an hour, 175 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden you're on pit road and you're going 30. That's not fun. Downhill happening. Brad Dove. This is a bad place to meet lap traffic. Straight away for the drivers. Now a chance for David Steiner to try to get into one of these sweeping corners and try to make the pass on Brad Dove. Little draft for him here. We'll look to the inside. It's going to have the line. The 25 into the 63. That's going to really disrupt the race line there. That's the thing about road course racing, folks. If they've got your inside, you hear inside, especially if you're a lap car, you've got to give up the position or race them with some room. You can't turn into the corner like you can on NASCAR where you can lean on each other. In road course racing, the road etiquette says no. And now David Steiner has lost a ton of ground here. About 4 seconds on that lap after making the contact with Brad Dove. And depending on pit road entry and everything that happens with pit road here, that's a massive situation. So Big Art in third, and he's fast. He's still fast. 2:05.86 his last time by. Michael Caffrey goes in 9.5 seconds. Still 9.5 seconds between he's so about halfway between each other. Nathan Big Art trying to press forward. Jed Connerman came in on lap 4. Connerman on lap 16. First of the takers for tires and fuel there. David still trying to lead this one. The Australians doing well, but Wesley Strait was in the run for a top 3 last week. And at the end of the race, there was an issue, and he got disconnected from the service, and it was heartbreaking. If this were an official race, Nathan Big Art finishing third right now would lose 6 iRating. Those who would have cared. 17.8 now into the corner. Chance to run. Connerman coming around. Is going to complete another lap here. A little grass action there. David Steiner's going to stay out for one more. And they know just how long they can run on fuel here, so that's it. That's an even better situation for all of them. 2:06.67. Caffrey coming around. 2:06.78 last time by. 2:06.11 matches his fast time. 2:06.108. Nathan Big Art trying to run the 2:05s to play catch up here. 2:05.530, fastest lap of the race. He started from pit road, but didn't have near the advantage that. He was able to get around a few drivers, but in the first few laps, this racetrack, when everybody's tight, the corners are just very sketchy. They actually did really well on the start of this race. 1.8 second deficit here between the McLarens. All McLarens inside the top 5. Actually, first through fourth. Wesley Strait doing himself a job. How about Theodore? My old daddy out there running his fastest lap so far, 2:08.17. And well deserving of that clean morale, right? Doing a killer job. Killer job. I mean, you're not wrong, RB, but he enjoys racing. I mean, the series is fun to call. It's fun. It's fun to watch these drivers go around. But just, you never know. I mean, there are road ringers out there too, right? Now Nate has 12 wins on the season. Oh, wrong one. Nate has 12 wins on the season. And that's what I was going to show earlier. We got some points. Nathan Big Art, 12 wins on the season, 136-point lead over David Steiner. David Steiner's won 3 races. Crownover's third in the point standings, 76 points behind David Steiner, but 212 points behind Nate. And just the way that the season has progressed, it's shown there's big interest in the series, but there's also big interest in these drivers because these drivers are really starting to turn on late. Now we only have one more race. Right after this, that'll be next week. Where are we running next week? We're running somewhere. Tyler has wheel damage. Dang it. Where are they at next week? All right, Spa. We're going to Spa next week. So, Circuit is Spa. Theodore coming to pit road. Big Art 2:05.46. He's got some clean air, so he's got a way to travel. David Steiner's just been running 2:06.80s. If it wasn't for a little bit of lap traffic, he'd still have roughly about a 20-second lead over Nathan. It's all closing in. This is where the car gets light. This is where the tires are greasy. This is where you can make a mistake, especially in the downhill section. 41 minutes complete. We're about to finish up that 42nd minute. And we'll start to see green flag pit stops really soon. We keep our eye on the prize here for these drivers. Thank you, Budgie. What'd you say there? You're not trying, you shouldn't be there. Oh, no. I would never say that either. Everybody has the right to race. That's the way I feel about that. Love racing them. Can learn a lot from them. Absolutely. And some people just have a natural talent on this simulator. And that's one of the things that I'll say. Just a natural talent of driving. He's one of every one of these drivers are way more talented than I. Churchy giving up some room there to Caffrey. We'll see Wesley Straight on the inside. And this is where that racing etiquette, you see the early braking for Church there. Gonna give the line. It's harder to go slower in the corners. You have to find that rhythm. And Church, he's just out there. He's doing what he can. He's learning. He's doing a phenomenal job. Steiner's close in some time. How about Caffrey turning it on late here? 206.08. 6.5 seconds to gap. 205.484. Nathan Bigart the last time by. And we'll see when these drivers decide to come to pit road. 43 minutes into this one. Able to utilize the downhill to save some fuel. That dip is so hard on that car. You catch air in the middle of the corner. I think everybody deserves a chance. There's a chance. Steiner coming around, good behind Jed Cotterman. Cotterman, short of the race, he's doing just fine. Enjoying the Audi. Crown over in 7th. And caught up to Theodore there for a little bit. Theodore and Wesley Straight. Good racing right now. Philip Caffrey and Wesley Straight still battling it out for 4th and 5th. Seeing drivers wheel hop there. Hopefully Steiner didn't get a penalty. Because when he came to pit road, kind of have to look at the commitment line there. No, he's good. I think he's good. Big Art's going to lead. So he's going to get credit lap led here as the other drivers come to pit road. David Steiner. Thank you, PBR, for coming in. Michael Caffrey on pit road. Wesley Straight coming to pit road as well. Philip Caffrey will cycle out to 2nd. Actually, I take that back. David Steiner will cycle out to 2nd. Philip Caffrey will be getting up to speed. So David Steiner coming out, making that happen. Philip Caffrey in 4th. So Big Art to the lead. 17-second lead now. That's the advantage that Nathan Bigart left when it came to pit road. Caffrey doing the same thing. Philip Caffrey doing well. Still sitting right behind Michael. Wesley Straight on pit road. It's going to get a cycle here. Theodore working the lane. And Anthony Crownover. Good start to the race. Do I feel okay? No, I don't feel okay. I feel terrible. Theodore just ran his fastest lap of the race one more time. 208.163. Theodore getting faster. I didn't think tires were going to be a factor here today. Drivers are pretty comfortable running what they've got. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Hope your stream was well. Right now, a little bit of clean air will go a long way. Gonna turn 17. David Steiner trying to close in. Getting up to speed. Losing a little bit of ground, but he'll be fine. Bigard got to be careful getting into pit road there. Same concept. Pit road speed limiter on, actually pressing the speed limiter. It's about a mile an hour faster than the rest of the drivers. 32 there. David Steiner coming around. Try to make that happen. Michael Caffrey coming around as well. So as they're up to speed, Nathan Bigart go back to third. Take that back. Oh no, Caffrey goes around. Philip Caffrey coming to pit road. Wesley Strait coming on 21. David Steiner, 9.5 second lead. Will need to press on. Bigart, 11 seconds on pit road on it for his fuel stop. 13.4 for everybody else. So he ran an extra lap. Maybe thinking he doesn't need as much fuel. But he's going to be a lot lighter right now after the tires have cooled down. We'll be trying to close in that 9-second gap. David Steiner through the corner. Trying to develop what he's got going on. Wesley Strait goes to fourth. Philip Caffrey on pit road. I think he might have taken a full cycle there. Either that or he's serving a penalty. Something happened to Philip Caffrey. He was running fourth. So Mike Caffrey is stuck here. And hold on to it. Wesley Strait closing in. So Mick has some nose damage with 10 laps to go. David Steiner just ran his fastest lap of the race. 2:05.50. So 9.7 the gap. Bigart 2:34.09 last time by. Dang, oh dang. Thank you for the clip, Budgie. I appreciate you. Come on, Mick. It's fine. It's just it'll buff. You got 10 minutes left to go. They got 10 minutes left to go. I got some water to drink. I'll be right back. Anthony Crownover coming around has a little bit of got a cough drop. Jess and I are partaking in cough drops. Anthony Crownover with no front clip on that. He's got a rear spoiler though, so that'll be all right. Churchy jumping to pit road on 13. Let's see. Stryker having an off track right now. The lead between the two drivers here. David Steiner coming around. Sees Philip Caffrey's going to be a lap down here. Philip with a little bit of nose damage as well. David Steiner, 207.14 last time by. Nathan Bigart, 205.38. 7 seconds and trying to close in with 5 minutes to go. We get a couple of laps out of this. It might be a race to the end. Caffrey holding on to third. 6.9 back is going to be Wesley Straight. Theodore, 17 seconds. Crownover again. Running behind Brad Dove. Trying to ever improve his racecraft. Trying to do what he can. Stryker having to jump to pit road as well on lap 18. Here's what happened to Stryker. Well, here's what happened to Stryker. Sorry. I think the car, he just might have stopped. Never mind. I thought he had an issue. Here it was on 17. Got into the gravel. Good to go. All right, but yeah, still working, still doing what we can. David Steiner, Nathan Bigard, 7 seconds the gap. Michael Caffrey holding on. Philip Caffrey in between. He was running third, had a top three car. And then that nose damage is it's pretty rough, man. And Philip had an off track on 22. Wanted to see how he got his nose damage. I don't know. Right here. I think this is where he... Oh, right there. Yeah. Hit the turtles. At least he clutched it in. He did. He's getting into the overlook. Hit the wall there. Got the tires on the left side. Right into the S's. I mean, what a way to show you that you're in the S's. That's terrible. 7 1/4. 27 laps complete. Coming around. Going to be about 2 more laps to go based on the math that doth calculate. So we'll have this lap and then one more. As David Steiner trying to put down a rip-roaring time. Trying to hold on to what he has. Nathan Bigard, 205.65. His fastest lap, 205.38. We'll have the fast lap of the segment here. Right now, David Steiner pushing. We'll see 2 to go. 205.34. So he is laying down some times now. He's got to know he's good on fuel. So we'll see what he does. We'll see if Nathan Bigard can get rolling. See if he can throw down a heavier time. Michael Caffrey, 38 seconds back. How about Jed? Jed over there, 208.68, just ran his fastest lap of the race. Let's go. He's getting faster. You know, these cars do have a tendency to get a little bit faster as they get rolling, as they do the thing. Oh, baby. Thank you for all your patience this week, folks, with the throat, with everything that's been going on. $772. Can I watch Jed? Jake, can I watch Jed Cotterman? We do what we can, as it would be. Here to tell the story, folks. The story is David Steiner trying to be closed down by Nathan Bigard. Nathan Bigard may not have taken enough fuel. Might be trying to roll out here, keep that third place. Caffrey coming around. He's going to be in third. Wesley Straight in fourth. Theodore's going to be in fifth. Up 6 spots. So top 5 night for that driver again. Driver cam's working. Let's get better. We're trying to get better. I got Jess sick. I got my son sick. It's terrible. Wesley Straight having an issue there. He's in fourth. Trying to get backed up, facing the right direction here. Theodore's actually catching him. West just ran his fastest lap of the race, too, a 2:07.02. Wesley, 2.7. Oh, he's got no rear wing. Oh, no. Theodore's going to make that pass on fourth. So Wesley jumping to pit road. Man, oh, man. Some fragile wings. David Steiner will take the white flag. And we are past that 1 hour mark. Final lap for him as he gets into the uphill. Nathan Bigart trying to save a little bit here, it does look like. Caffrey, 52 back. He had an issue as well, so he's lost a little bit of time. But how about Theodore inside the top 5? Up 7 spots. Would be your biggest, will be your hard charger because he started the furthest back, even though Nathan Bigart qualified differently and went to pit road. Theodore started with the field and moved his way up, so he's in fourth. 7 spots gained for the driver furthest back moving forward. Oh, the massiveness. Philip Caffrey in 6th. Nathan Bigart still right behind him. David Steiner, 2:06.28. Oh, no. Jed, into that same corner in the downhill section. The overlook right into the entry into the S's. Right there. Yeah, left side tire, same spot. Everybody's had the spot right there. Oh, man, I've not seen anybody hit the inside, though. At least there's walls there. It is the final lap, so he'll at least be able to make it around. He's still got his rear wing on, so he'll be able to have the downforce that he needed. But David Steiner comes home, and he'll have his 4th win on the season. As Nathan Bigart should be able to coast to the end. David Steiner, maximum effort, leads from the word go, other than when we're on pit road. I wondered if Nate might have been saving there. He took 2 seconds less of fuel, which on this racetrack could be quite a bit less. Michael Caffrey will come around. He'll have a top 3 night. Theodore, maximum effort for that driver. Very solid day, just keeping it nice and clean. Anthony Crownover just ran his fastest lap of the race last time by 2:07.17. He's got a minute 26 to be able to finish here as they continue to press on. Michael Caffrey coming around, finished 3rd. Great run. It's a good race. I love this racetrack. This racetrack is a ton of fun. Crownover ran the fastest lap of his race without a front clip on. I know what's wrong with the Ferraris now. He had too much downforce on the nose. Brad Dove ran his fastest lap of the race on his last lap as well, 2:11.18. Crownover coming around. See if he was able to run any faster this time. 2:07.19, so he ran his 2 fastest laps of the race. The final 2 laps of the race. Brad Dove coming around. Could have killed a job. 2:11.10. And that'll be the end of that one. Race results. David Steiner, Nathan Bigart, Michael Caffrey, Theodore. Teddy finishing in 4th. Anthony Crownover in 5th. Philip Caffrey, Wesley Straight, Jed Cotterman, Brad Dove, Jericho Morley is going to be out there through 10th. Stryker, Hammond, Church, and Hartung. Hartung did not start the race, but maybe he'll get some provisionals there. I don't know. Maybe he will. We'll see. Thank you, Budgie, for the clips. Clips are amazing. Ooh, excuse me. So yeah. Let's talk to David. He gets a win. Gets a big old dub. As one of the tracks that I would have pegged you guys to come out here and have a good time at. Congratulations, David. This one was it was interesting trying to see Nate try to catch you there. But I mean, from the word go, you were there. You just kind of dialed in. We went on board with you, watching you go through the uphill section, trying to, and then as soon as you hit the crest of the overlook, and then coming down into the downhill section, it's a crazy track. And just walk people through how insane it is to be able to drive a track not only close to you, but a track that you have to have a lot of patience with.
And it's great to get on board like it sounds like you did, and watch through those sections. You know, that the track's really, it's broken up into several points. But coming up the hill it's a very rhythmic flowing track, and you just got to get your lines right. And if you do get your lines right, you can track 100% throttle from turn 4 all the way to Skyline that you're talking about, where you drop off. And you can even do that in the race, but you're going to chew up a bit of tyre, and you take a risk because you've got the wall on your right, you get right up to it. But you can do that, and if you're a little bit conservative, like I was after lap 5, I was a little conservative. I was just lifting slightly for 9, lifting slightly for 10, and that's the way to just reduce the risk a little bit. And so coming up the mountain is one part, and then once you crest Skyline, again, it's all rhythm down through 11, 12, 13, 14, through the Dipper, and then Forest Elbow eventually. And you've got to get your braking right, because you got slip angle demand while you're braking, and you do too much of that with too much steering input towards Dipper, and you're in a bit of trouble. So it's all rhythm and flow, and if you get it right at this track, up the mountain and sort of down through that section, it's really rewarding. It feels good once you get that line right, and you get into a flow and you get into a rhythm, and then you've just got the long straights where you can take a break. Essentially, you can look around, look at your data, look at your tires, look at your settings, look at your laps, look at fuel, and just have a bit of a rest. You know, stretch and gather your thoughts, and then you got a couple of 90-degree lefts. You know, there's the chase as well, but you got those couple of 90-degree lefts, and then another break up the hill, and then you're into that rhythm again, and so you've got to readjust. And it's you get into a bit of a mode where you just flow through this track, and it's nice to get it. It's nice to get this track, to get a lap here clean and good feels really good.
It was nauseating. I'm just gonna say, riding on board with somebody, like, it's one thing to drive it because, right, you're in control. You know where your points are. You're looking at your nose. You're looking ahead. But whenever I was on the roof cam, right, I've got it all set up to be like just over the passenger, and just looking over the nose of the car, and it was just back and forth. I felt like I was on a ship going through the going through the corners, but it's a great look though. You know, I wish that we could, as creators, have little cameramen that we could like go to and pan them out, right? Because it would be nice to be like, all right, now look overhead and see what these cars are doing, and you know, it's insane because when you get into the dip, we were watching the cars catch air, right, and slamming into the Dipper section through the S's. That right there, if you were in a motion rig, would just be jarring. I can't imagine the G's and the force that the drivers that run Bathurst would feel here.
Yeah, we should enjoy that, I think, while it lasts. There is some talk about, so the last 12 hour, there was a couple of incidents there, right there at that section. And there is some discussion about slowing the cars down there. I don't know what they're going to do. You could sharpen up a chicane, because there's that little bit of runoff area on the left, that sealed section, which is good to allow cars through. If you want to let cars through, you can use that. But they might be able to use that. But there is talk about they're going to modify the track, unfortunately. There was a big accident at the 12, and slower category vehicle was letting through one of the pros, and there's not much room, you know, and you're turning slight right with brake on, and it's just a recipe. And so yeah, one driver I think ended up with at least one fractured vertebrae from an incident there. I think he was in an Audi R8 from memory, but yeah, that's what they're going to look at now. So we've got to enjoy that. We'll be right. We'll do it virtually. There's no risk, right? Can't get injured here. But yeah, that might in the future, in the real terms, that might change.
Well, leave it alone. Just no. Race safety is or driver safety is the most important factor of racing. You know, we're doing 170 miles an hour on the straightaways. You know, in the uphill section, 90, 91, 92, to 120 miles an hour in some sections, and when you get to the downhill section, you're trying to steer with brake modulation, even though you're turning the wheel. There's a lot of feedback that the car gives. So we're just watching how that goes, and you know, hopefully Bathurst and Mount Panorama they come up with a good solution to not take away from the racing, but you know, also we definitely want to make it safe.
Yeah, of course, but you know, it is motorsport.
I mean, NASCAR
and
took
it's
out the
always
horsepower
been,
too, so we're up. You know, we know.
yeah, okay. I mean, look, there's been some heavy crashes. I mean, the walls are right there, you know, there's plenty of them, but from memory, in recent times, the first time there's been an injury, it was this one I'm talking about. But I mean, back in the day, so this track has been around for quite a while, and its old version was, imagine this track without the walls. Yeah, okay, down across Skyline when you've got the wall to your right. Well, that's rock, so that was wall anyway. But on the outsides for most of the track, it was just trees. It was like any track of old, like the Nürburgring, like Hockenheim, like any of those tracks where you just had pine trees on the sides of the road, right? And drivers would go off the track in touring cars and then Group A and just sort of go in between the trees or hit them.
Yeah.
And so where it is now is light years ahead of that. You know, it's safe now. You have, of course, walls the whole way. It could be worse.
You know, Bathurst opened in 1938, 87 years ago. You know, that's more pedal car simulation. That's back when they were taking the Ford 100s up and trying to maximize it. Well, I mean, motorcycles used to race on this racetrack as well, and that, you know, that'd be scary. That's for darn sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it was. You had all the variation in cars running touring cars here, down from at the smallest end, the minis, the Mini Cooper S used to race against big V8 sedans like the Ford Falcon we had here, and the Holden Monaros and so on. Yeah, and then everything else, BMWs, Jaguars, all competing. It's just it's a great old track. It's great to enjoy a race here and do well. Of course, we do get a lot of laps, so Mick and I and Phil, we're more comfortable here than we are at some other places. Well, yeah. It's just practice, you know. You just put in
it's the hometown,
lap after lap after lap. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for sure.
It's the hometown track. We have to drive states. You guys have some of the, you know, we like to think NASCAR is the biggest sport in the world, but we know differently. You know. Speaking of Australia, Shane Newman out there. He's my other Vegemite friend from across the big pond, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for being out there. Thank you for the like, Striker. Thank you for the like as well. And I'll tell you what, we got all kinds of. I had to show. My wife has never seen this track, right? On iRacing or anything, so I had to stop and make sure I went and showed her what you guys were racing, because this track is just beautiful. It's beautiful to watch the corners, watch the turns, and just I don't know. It's a BEA beautiful day to be able to watch some GT3 cars go fast out here and put up some good lap times.
Yeah, good. So you'll be able to dig up some of those old kangaroo videos if you YouTube that, and kangaroos Mount Panorama. You'll be able to show her that. That's pretty cool.
Yep, going to.
Yeah,
Yep.
they always just they have to run a safety car virtual. I think they sometimes run virtual now, or just full course safety, because there's a kangaroo, and once he gets in, it's hard for him to get out. So he just hops around the track. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a good racetrack. I love it. And David, you had the fastest lap of the race. You led the most laps of the race. You had a good old fashioned, you had a good night. Congratulations, man. 4th win on the season. We're going to go from here to Spa, and then we'll set up the GT3 series next week, man. Give shout outs. You get a victory here tonight. And what a good run you had, man.
Yeah, I think what I'm thinking about Nate here. Well done to Nate. He, from what I could see, he's done everything he could have, starting back where he did. It's a shame he didn't come up the front this time, but starting where he did, he's worked his way through, and he saved fuel again. So he did an extra lap, so his pit stop was shorter. So he came out in line with Michael, and it might have been, I haven't seen it, of course, but where Michael maybe had an incident there. Mm-hmm. So Nate's done everything he could from back there, and kept me real honest, putting in a bunch of fastest laps of his own, and then worked my hardest to try and answer that. So well done on that P2, and for doing everything he could have. Pretty solid drive. When I Mick there in P3, and to everyone else, I was just watching the times throughout the race. There was some pretty good battles going on. I could see Wesley pressuring Phil for quite a while, real close driving. I think Stryker and Tyler and one other. Maybe it was Anthony, I think, at that point. I look forward to watching those battles later on, because they look nice, close battles. They were good to watch. But went on, and Theo and Anthony for making up a couple of spots toward the back end there, and finishing strongly. That's real good. Thanks to you, Jason, as always. Thanks to Signature Esports, and thanks to the Chopp'N It Up podcast, and generally speaking, the Chopp'N the Chop Shop team for and the admins for putting it on and doing all the work for all the leagues week in, week out. That's great. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
David, we will see you next week, and good luck this week, man. Have some fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you next time.
Absolutely. That's your winner, folks. He's from Australia. He loves this place. I love being able to have him come up and win. And I thought a guy who had everything locked in, trying to do a little bit more each and every week to try to make his race more difficult as possible. Comes home P2 tonight. Nate, I was watching you start from pit road, and I got to thinking about it. I was like, you would almost have been better starting on the field, because you might have been able to make a better turn one. But what a battle you had. Congratulations on P2 tonight. A question for you, though. Did you have to save a little bit of fuel at the end? Because I watched the short pit. I know you went a lap longer to try to just, take a little extra time, but were you having to save at the end? Because normally when David throws out a fast lap, you go back at it and hit him again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. I was off by like a couple seconds the second to last lap, and then the last lap I was way off because I just wasn't gonna make it. And I knew I had quite a gap behind, so I would rather just go slow, have a slow lap rather than run out and not be able to even roll to the finish line. So it was definitely a lot of fuel saving. And like you said, I mean, yeah, I wanted to start on pit road mainly because, well, I didn't want to actually. I went to load my setup, and for some reason, the top of my screen, it didn't have the green like grid, and it didn't even have the like starting the pits at first. It was all gray. I don't know what that was about. Like I thought, oh, maybe my setup failed, but usually it turns yellow if the setup fails.
Right.
But for some reason, it just stuck gray for a while. It might have been because I got in the car, then got back out, and it was just messing up for a minute. I don't know. But either way, started on pit road, tried to get going as fast as I could. And then the strategy obviously changed from there. Yeah, I knew I saved fuel that first run so I could try to get an extra lap on them. So you can get, a fast lap there when they're doing their pit stop, and then have a little bit slower pit stop because I can take less fuel because I've done an extra lap. And then on top of that, I took less than what I needed, knowing that I was going to have to save later on. But I was just trying to make it for a battle. If I could get up ahead Caffrey, battle him, and then try to save once I was ahead of him was the plan. But it just didn't turn out that way. We never got to do the battle. Like, as I come off a pit road, man, he was pushing hard, trying to keep that track position. I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, right.
And it just,
rear.
oh,
Yeah, we
I
watched.
was so bummed out, man. I wanted that battle so bad.
Well, it happens. Same concept. Talking about the uphill and the downhills of Bathurst. This one, it's a beautiful track. I mean, describe to people what it's like as a non-Australian to get out here and see this racetrack, and I mean, you've raced it in the past, and what's the feeling like as you're going through these corners? For me, it's panic, but for somebody who's running 205.5s, what's it like for you?
It's iconic, man. Like you get the history, you get why it's so historic and iconic. Just the being out in the country, out in the woods, climbing a mountain, walls on both sides, no mistake can be made, but you got to push hard to get that lap time. Like, I mean, I've been in them top slit races where these guys are beating me even by a second. They're down in the 03s, 04s. It's just wild on how hard, once you get the line, how hard you can push and nail that same lap over and over and over. And you definitely got to do them 12 hours to get there, just have the time on the track time, seat time, to be comfortable doing it, nailing them braking zones, and then just holding it wide open up the mountain. It's just fun. Like, there's no more track out there that's more enjoyable, I don't think, than to climb that mountain and send it back down the hill and try not to crash, because at times you're pushing as hard as you can. You're on the verge of just completely losing control. And believe me, if it was in real life, those guys, wow, just wow. Because I can do it on a simulator. I don't think I could push like that in real life. That's just wild and crazy. It's something to watch on TV. It's very exciting. I enjoy it.
It's straight panic mode. It's exactly what it is.
And then they got kangaroos that run out on the track during the race.
Yeah. David and I were talking about that. I'm gonna show Jess the kangaroos that stop in the middle of the track. Oh, and then whenever they don't move or they try to fight your car or jump in your car, see that. It is. Bathurst is Mount Panorama is it's a beautiful racetrack. There's a lot of history here. Not only is there a lot of history here, but there's going to be continued history here. This track is getting close to celebrating the centennial, and one of the things that is great about a track like this is that as racing ever improves and drivers become more closely competitive, there's always room for a track like this to be able to do something bigger and better. Even with what, like David was talking, some of the safety measures they may have to take with this racetrack, the racing is always thrilling. Tonight was that as well. I know it's a difficult racetrack for a lot of drivers just because of the change in elevation, but boy, some of the other corners could be fun for them as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then the high speeds, the big long straightaways, you get the draft. It's got everything. Other than it stinks that in iRacing they took out the jump, because that used to be one of the best parts about it, was at the end, everybody hitting the jump.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but it was the first track when I first joined iRacing 2 years ago. It was the first endurance race, first track that I bought and paid for and got on and did laps on. And it was definitely trial by fire when I first started iRacing, but it definitely made me fall in love with it. And I'll run the special event at Bathurst every year. Both of them, actually. I do the supercar, the 1000, and also the 12-hour.
So I have done my first rookie race in the Mazdas whenever I first started taking on the road side of things, was right here at Bathurst. You want to talk about a slow lap time? Whoa. But I tell you what, if you had ran out of fuel, you coming down the back straightaway, or back portion of this mountain, you'd have been fine. You'd have been almost dang near able to coast to the end.
You think so? I've never tried it. I figured maybe if you got over the hill on the back stretch.
Well,
Yeah,
if you're clutched and you're 173 coming down that hill,
right.
you'd be able to make the corners. I think you'd be able to.
Yeah.
Even if it was sputtering, you'd be fine. Yeah. I'd take the off track and be fine and cut the grass, and it'd be okay. You might be able to make it. I don't know. Somebody would have pushed you, though. There was a driver behind you that was a lap behind that probably would have given you an opportunity. But hey, what a phenomenal race for you tonight, man. Congratulations. Moving on to next week for Spa Championship coming up. There's just so much more to give with road course racing, and phenomenal job for you tonight, man. Give you shout outs. You get a P2 finish.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the series, the Chopp'N It Up podcast, for supporting Chop Shop. Shout out to the Chop Shop themselves, the whole league, everyone that's involved, all the drivers, all the admins. Shout out to all the drivers showing up tonight. We had a couple extras that were not always here, so it was nice to see them. Jed was able to make it out. He's been trying. I know he works, and usually at the time we're racing, he's been trying to get out with us the whole season, so it was nice to see him out here. Huge shout out to Dave, man. He did it. He did what he had to do to win this race. Because I tell you, I was sitting there behind him. I mean, yeah, I was like 10 seconds back, but any mistake he made, I was going to be able to take this win away. So he had to hold it together and laid down the fastest lap of the race at the end, last lap, when the pressure's on. Man, he killed it tonight. Shout out to Caffrey, P3, great run. I think, if it weren't for me making him push a little extra, trying to get ahead, he had P2 locked up. And then just a shout out to you, Signature Esports, Jason, doing the broadcast, everyone out there that supports you, all the fans that support us at Chop Shop, and any type of iRacing. Just all the fans out there watching, enjoying. My number one fan watching tonight, always watching me when I race. Love you, Mom.
You got some left rear damage. Okay. The Michelin Man is scuffed.
Yeah, I scraped the wall a little bit here and there. You got to get them lap times.
Everybody did. Yeah, I was watching it. There was so much net code coming through those walls. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was nuts. All right, brother. We'll see you tomorrow night.
All right, see you tomorrow.
That is Nathan Bigard coming home. And then last but not least, our second Australian finishing there in the dang old P3 spot, Mr. Caffrey, coming off of pit road, trying to make sure Nate was going to try to stay behind you. That dang old turtle bit you. I saw it. Wasn't your fault. That was the turtle's fault.
Yeah, that's what you get. I just tried to get on it a little bit too early, and I probably, to be honest, I probably ran a little bit wide that turn. I saw Nate jump out of his pit box, and I was coming around just on the gas a little bit too early and sent around. It is what it is. I was really looking forward to having a bit of a battle with Nate, though. It was going to be good.
Well, when I watched you enter the corner, I was like, oh, this is going to be a good battle. And I thought you were going to pull away. And then the car high centered and split the seam or actually were perfect timing. It was actually a lap ahead. Whenever I go back and watch you guys at the end, it was a lap ahead. And I went back a lap and where the pit was. But I tell you what, getting those cars high centered on any portion of any of the safety measures on this racetrack, they hit the under tray and they just go for a ride.
Yeah, full credit to Nate. Oh, no, agreed. Sorry with that. Yeah, as soon as you're up on, you need to be real careful when you are on those turtles. It's just they are pretty slippery. Yeah, once you've got them worked out, it's not too bad. But I momentary loss of concentration, and it's that thing of trying to make sure that I was ahead of Nate, and I was just pushed too hard. That's how it is. But hey, look, yeah, full credit to Nate. He drove really well and just had his pits crew working pretty well. He probably gapped me about maybe 6 seconds. He was behind me and he come out about even. But I knew he was going to do that because he always runs that fuel right down. Yeah, full credit to him. And hey, about Dave, good run, Dave.
I tell you what, he took too little fuel too. Yeah, Babe says kangaroo on tracks. That's crazy. No, they're in Australia. in the mountains. Where do you think kangaroos go?
Yeah, he did say about the fuel. He did say about the fuel. He was going to be
short.
running pretty low, and he didn't have enough fuel to have a crack at that final fastest lap at the end there. Dave just clinched that fastest lap, a couple to go. So great work on that fastest lap as well.
Boy, if you guys were racing though, and you guys had been closer, that'd have been. He might have gotten a couple seconds on you if that were the case. If he was running hard, right? But he had to give up 7 seconds there at the end of that thing. That would have been.
Yeah,
that would have been a great battle for you guys at the end of that one, because you'd have kept him honest if he'd have kept that second position coming off anyway. Boy, you'd have kept him honest. You had enough fuel. I know you did.
It would have been, yeah. I had enough fuel. But it would have been interesting if I had got ahead of him and made him work pretty hard for that spot. And yeah, it would have been interesting to see how the fuel played out.
I like it, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. We're off to Spa though. What are you gonna do at Spa?
That's right. Yeah, it was coulda, woulda, shoulda. Had to maintain the focus all the way. But hey, that's the that's the Bathurst Mount Panorama. That's it can bite you pretty easy. On to the next one. Spa. Love Spa as well. Great track. I know Nate. He's well dialed in there. Dave loves it. Probably most people. Most racers probably love Spa just because of it brings a bit of everything. The fast tracks, the fast turns, corners, the winds. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is still my favorite track to call though. It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
Love that. Love.
Oh man, this is my. I've driven this track. I've not in real life, on the simulator. I've driven it on the simulator. I've driven it in almost everything. I kind of wish we had motorcycle racing on iRacing now.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I know that they don't race motorcycles here anymore, but do you know how awesome it would be to do to do just that?
That'd be pretty cool.
But we don't have motorcycle simulators, so that's a whole nother $5,000 we don't need to spend.
I was about to say the same. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh man. Anyway, I've already tried to convince Jess to let me. I found a Tony Stewart. I think it was an old Arca body, not far from here.
Yep.
That was cut up to be a simulator. That's already set up for gauges and pedals. And if I had the room for it, it'd already have been here. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd have sold something. I don't know. I'd have sold something to get that car over here because that'd been cool. Even though I'm a Larson fan, just as a Stewart fan, it'd have been perfect for him. Oh, we don't want to watch this one. Yeah, that's when you hit the wall. We don't want to watch that.
My next race, we're off to Pocono.
Yeah, you're gonna go.
Tricky Triangle.
It's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Things are getting heated down there.
I tell you what, into the playoffs, man. That's that track it favors road course racing, right? That's one of the things that I love about Pocono because turn 2 and turn 3, turn 1's more of a NASCAR turn. High end, low exit, just carry it out. But the tunnel turn carries so much speed that you have to utilize the ability to carry inertia into a corner and do so much that's gonna. I think you'll do well. And if you don't, somebody takes you on, might be mad about it.
That's the tunnels. Just have to keep it clean. Have to keep the thing clean. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. And it's the finals. That's
Yeah, where are you at? Now we got to look at what you're at in points. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Say ding.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm
in there.
You're 7th. 3 points.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Oh baby.
I'm in there. It's gonna be interesting.
The championship 8 Yeah, you're
There's
it's the
going to be some
champ.
high hitters.
It is the round of 12, but you are right now 3 points above the cutoff line into the championship. In the positive state, you just need top 5 night, sir. That's all you need. Top 5 night. Keep rolling.
No, yeah, that's right.
Stage
Easier said
points.
than done.
Stage points too. You need stage points for sure. Oh
Yep, I agree.
man. Oh man.
That's
My
where it gets
advice:
tricky.
take it easy.
I agree. You just have to get to the end.
Yeah, because
Be standing at the end.
Yeah, because if you're not, that's such a big track to have an issue. But hey, if there is cautions and say you do get a little bit of damage, it's a long way around that racetrack. Let's see, what are we running tomorrow? I don't know how many laps we're running. Stage is a completion laps 25, so we'll probably run in 70, 75, 80 laps, possibly.
Yep.
That's a race. That's a tough race.
Agreed.
Not tomorrow night. That'll be Friday night. Friday. Tomorrow we're running Texas. That's what they're running tomorrow in the truck series. It's going to be good.
Oh, look out. Yeah, Texas, good one.
Oh, it's going to be
Good
insane.
Always fun.
Well, I've got championships upon championships coming up too. Good racing. All right, Mick. I love you. You're amazing. I appreciate you as always.
Hi.
Congratulations on a P3, man. Give shout outs, brother.
Hey, thanks, Jason. Always love coming up and speaking to you. Hey, look, first up, yourself, Jason, and Signature Esports for the broadcast. John and Striker for running Chop Shop and all the admins. Dave for the getting the W and Dominate Racing, and Nate for that P2. Great drive from him. Chopp'N Up Media podcast. The Polarwood Stay Tuned Sports podcast, admin box, and just a shout out to again to Dominate Racing.
Yeah, your brother did amazing.
Yes, hey, thanks for the broadcast, Chase. Really appreciate it.
Oh, Phil. Like I thought it was going to be a Dominate 1, 2, 3, or maybe a Dominate 1 through 4. You know, even though we're going to put Nate in there. You know, he went off in almost in the same spot you did.
Yeah, we were trying. Next
week we're good. There's next week. There's more racing. Sir. Lots more racing. All right, brother.
Sir.
We'll see you later this week.
Thanks,
you too.
Thank you very much, sir.
That's McCaffrey coming home. P number 3 tonight, and we appreciate him. I love him. I love them all. Love them all. They're my friends. Everybody's. It's a good race. This was an incredible racetrack. If you haven't raced it, go to iRacing.com and use Brad Dove, BRADDOVE, as your referred driver. And if you do, and you type into the driver that referred you, type in his name, it should pop up to say Brad Dove. And if you click on his name, that will give him a referral if you get a subscription. So make sure that you buy 3 months at a time. It's a lot cheaper. 3 months or 6 months at a time. It's a lot cheaper. And remember that you do get some free tracks, free racing. You start off as a rookie, just like everybody else has. Additional content, of course, is paid for. That's part of the service. It's part of what we do. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars invested in the simulator, and it's worth the price of admission each and every week. I promise. If you find yourself out there wanting to race and maybe you can't afford a race car, well, this is the best way to afford a race car, because the only thing that you impact is your iRating, your safety rating, unless you're racing in leagues and it's your reputation. That's the way it looks like. So David Steiner gets the win. Thank you to Chop Shop. Thank you to Chopp'N It Up Podcast. Again, thank you to everybody who's been patient with me over the last basically almost a week now that I've been dealing with this chest thing. Jess is sick now. Austin's sick. Cody's the only one that's not sick. It's crazy. She was sick though. But I got sick after replacing a water main underneath the house last Tuesday, and last Wednesday I just felt awful. So, and now Jess has got it too, and she may end up having to stay home tomorrow once again for it. So, But outside of that, we're working on trying to get healthy over here. And for those who don't know, I have the big C word, and that's what's going on with my nose, and it just kind of compromises. It's behind my nose and my orbital. It takes a little bit longer for me to get over things anymore until we get it all figured out. But it's kind of the way. That's the way life throws you. When life throws you lemons, you're supposed to make lemonade. But right now, we could all use a cocktail. So just remember that kindness goes a long way, and make sure you support each other, because those are the most important factors of life. And well, thank Jess for allowing me to keep doing this, and thank you all for showing up for these drivers. Eventually, I'll get a lot better at calling road course racing. I will. Look at all that net code back here. Every driver had net code on that wall. It's crazy. It's just insane. So thank you to all of them. I want to see Ryan get back here and have some fun. We love the dude. And let's thank Stryker and John and all the admins and everybody out there. Thank you to Admin Box, of course. Thank you to all of our sponsors. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mr. Van Nest. We love you. Much love, Budgie. You're amazing. Everybody go follow Budgie. Twitch.tv /BudgieBird5. Go give her a follow. She didn't stream. Just go follow her. That's what matters. We love her. Thank you, folks. We'll see you soon. Bye.